Good afternoon, everybody. Here's a look at your headlines on this Friday afternoon. A social media movement calling for an economic blackout. A candidate announcing his run for mayor of one local city, and an update on a homicide investigation in West Mobile. Let's begin. News 5 now.
Brought to you by Green & Phillips, covering news from your neighborhood and around the world. News 5 Now starts right now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to News 5 Now. I'm Devin Walsh. Glad to be with you on this Friday afternoon. We are entering a period called Deep Gras. So from now until Fat Tuesday, it is nonstop Mardi Gras here along the Gulf Coast. And we have some great weather for it. This might be some of the best weather we've had in years. So I hope that you will get out and enjoy it over the next few days. Let's get to our big stories at this hour. Number 5, people across the country being encouraged to put away their wallets today as part of a social media movement calling for an economic blackout. Members of a grassroots organization are urging shoppers to avoid all unnecessary spending for the next 24 hours. The group is pushing back against what it sees as the influence of billionaires and big corporations. Number 4. Before spring break season begins, the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office is reminding people of their zero tolerance policy for underage drinking. Last year, more than 400 underage drinking notices were given out in Okaloosa County during spring break. Number 3, former Prichard Chief of Staff Rodney Clements announced he's running to be the city's next mayor. Clements announced his campaign on social media this morning. He says if he's elected, he'll work to make the city safer, improve infrastructure, and create more opportunities for the city's young people. He served as Chief of Staff from 2020 to 2023. Number 2, the SS United States is now in the Gulf as America's last ocean liner makes its way to Mobile. The ship is currently in the Gulf between Florida and Cuba. The United States left Philadelphia last week and made its way around Florida to enter the Gulf yesterday. Once the ship arrives in Mobile, it will be stripped of hazardous materials before being sunk off the coast of Destin to become an artificial fishing and diving reef. And number 1, a man remains in Metro Jail charged for a man's death in West Mobile. 19-year-old Damian Blackman faces a manslaughter charge after investigators say he shot a man to death last night. Officers were called to a home on Cherry Ridge Drive just after 6 last night. When they got there, they found 24-year-old Orlando Smoots Jr. had been shot. Smoots was taken to the hospital where he died. And that is a look at our big stories at this hour. All right, everybody, we're switching gears to our question of the day. And of course, you know it's going to be about Mardi Gras. It is this. What city does Mardi Gras the best? Of course, we know Mobile is the birthplace of Mardi Gras, but New Orleans, they do a pretty good job of it as well. So let's look at some of your comments. Nina says there's really no better. They all have their pros and cons. Let's see, Mobile, the birthplace of Mardi Gras. For a family-friendly experience and for a party environment, so family-friendly experience, Mobile, party environment, New Orleans. Family-friendly, Dauphin Island, let the good times roll, Mobile, drunk as a skunk, New Orleans. Okay, that might cover it. Gulf Shores and Orange Beach, safer. Is this a real question, Kelly says? New Orleans. And Rebecca says she prefers Pensacola Parade, safer, cleaner, and wonderful crew community. Mobile is king, but I like the atmosphere in Biloxi as well, says Timothy. So we've gotten so many great comments. I have never experienced Mardi Gras outside of Mobile. Now, I've been to Saraland's Parade and some of the Eastern Shore parades, but I mean like New Orleans or Biloxi. Never experienced it. And I haven't really experienced it in Mobile except for during the Pensacola Christmas Parade. A lot of the organizations participate in that, and it's so much fun. So I've never been to New Orleans for Mardi Gras. I don't know that I ever will go. It might be a little too wild for me. Maybe so. Okay, everybody, let's look at our question of the day. And this one has to do with outer space. And the reason why we're asking you this question, given the opportunity, would you ever go to space, is because it was announced this morning that CBS Mornings anchor Gayle King will go up in space on board a Blue Origin rocket. So that's super exciting. So we're asking you, would you go? Would you go to space if you were given the opportunity? Yes or no? I know that Michael Strahan, who's on ABC News, he went. And he said it was the opportunity of a lifetime. So I was reading some interviews with Gail, and she said that Oprah Winfrey was one of the ones who convinced her to do it. So that is crazy brave and exciting. And so, of course, Gail will bring us along for her journey. I think it's coming up in a few months. So that's super exciting for us to all follow along with. Well, I hope all of you have a great weekend, whatever you're doing, whether it's Mardi Gras or just getting out in this beautiful weather. And thank you for joining me for News 5 Now. I'll see you back for WKRG News 5 at 5.
Covering news from your neighborhood and around the world. You are watching News 5 Now, brought to you by Green & Phillips.